And welcome back, everybody, to the West Coast. We've got Frederick sitting over there ready to unload, set up on courseplay. In case you missed the last couple episodes, I set that up on those. Let's see, looking at field sizes, field 40 is a little bit bigger than the field that we're doing now. We'll probably have to, get a couple wagons going. But for right now, it hasn't really been too much of an issue. Field 39, we'll definitely probably have to use double wagons or 2 tractors. I'm not sure how double wagons will work. I think they'll be able to get there in time they should be able to get there and back by the time I am full and need to unload again. But you just never know. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, the reason why it's even an issue is because if you have only one wagon and you send that wagon, one wagon per tractor with 2 tractors. If you have only one wagon and you send that wagon, well, then the tractor, you'll have another tractor and wagon to unload on. However, if you fill up double wagons and send them both with one tractor, then you don't necessarily have, you might not be able to unload and keep the combine moving in the time that it takes for that tractor to drive all the way back home and all the way back. So Canola's a little bit slower, and I think we should still be able to do it, but I didn't know. And I do want to try one other thing here. I want to see if, let's just stop here and let's turn you on to, let's make sure that you are, let's see, what is it? This one? No, this one. You're going, but I want you to, no, I don't want automatic search. I don't want any. I don't want you to have any combine. Because, let's see, let's start at 100%. Okay. So now in case you accidentally find a combine. Okay, so now you could actually select automatic search. Yeah, that's fine. Or we can just do manually. Either way, that's fine. But the reason I didn't want that all automatic is because I wanted to be able to control when I called. Let's make sure we're on courseplay. I wanted to make sure to control when I called the combine, because I don't want, or when I called my little wagon, because I was manually dumping onto the wagon myself. But of course, if you can, I'll reverse maneuver. Straight curve. I don't know what that one is. Straight. Headland. Oh, well, right. I'm not. Okay. Straight and curve. I guess curve. I don't know. Reverse maneuver. Oh, if they're curving when they reverse. Well, I don't reverse at all. I just. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna manually request a driver when I get over on that other side of the field and see if in a big field like this, where he has plenty of room to turn around, hopefully he will not drive over the crops. That's what I'm hoping, since I'm going to wait until I am turned around. The auger is going to be on the left side, because this would really speed things along if I can get some wagons going that allow me to unload on the fly. That would be a great help. So let's see if we can do this with courseplay. So we're going to turn here and get things going on over on the other side. And we should be able to call him as soon as we get going straight. And there we go. And let's lower. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Let's request a driver and see what he does. Okay, so he's hopefully starting up and coming on over. And the field he should have plenty of room. Oh, you know what? I have him going really slow on the field. But he should be going fast enough. I mean, realistically, you don't want him going too fast. Although, I want him going faster than that, otherwise he's not going to catch up to the combine. Yeah, he's going about twice as fast as me. That's fine. And doing a nice big turnaround, and yeah, this field just wasn't quite long enough. But I'm going to have to wait at the end. Yeah, so we should have had him going a lot faster than that. But I didn't want him blasting down the field. That's part of the problem. Oh, well. Let's, well, you know what? I mean, this is kind of unloading and stopping here is better than, hold on, stop. having him do this is a lot better than me having to go all the way to him. So actually, can we just unload? Unload now. There we go. All right, so we are unloading, and you are gonna be relatively full. I think I have you sending on your way at 80%. It's either 80 or 85, so you're probably gonna leave when I finish dumping. I think. I hope. Okay. For now, though, for us, let's put back our auger and be on our way. And then let's see what he does. I thought I had him telling him to go unload. Well, let's just get started here on the next course and see what happens. So what I want to do is, let's see. I want to, why am I in neutral? Yeah, see, I hate this. I hate Gearbox. Sometimes it just does really weird things. Like that. Yeah, so maybe if I send him home, then he will be on his way. Because he's 92% full of canola. He should be on his way. So let's, driver? Wait, why are you slipping? Oh, it's because you ran into a tree? Oh, goodness. Can't do anything on their own. Perhaps we unloaded too close to the side of the field or something like that. I don't know. Let's just, let's go through. Instead of tabbing through everything, I think this looks just a little bit prettier. Let's, stop driver and back driver up. That was ugly. And, okay, so let's, go on our way now. And what we want to do is drive course at the first waypoint. And that should send you on home, I think. Wait, where's the first waypoint? Not here? Okay. That wasn't the first waypoint, but maybe they just went for the first waypoint at the edge of the field? I don't know. I guess I don't really care as long as he comes back just fine. And let's get back into our combine. And in case you saw, I did park Fritz up there with the other field. Now, real quick, in case you missed last episode, I might have to re-record a courseplay course because the tractor got stuck just out. I think it was in Little Woolhope. I think he hit traffic. What I think happened is, if it doesn't happen this time, I think what happened is he slowed down because of a car going around a curve, and then he got stopped because of like a stop sign or a road sign. As long as he keeps moving, looks like he stopped on the map, but it still says 14 miles an hour. So I think, yeah, he's moving, right? It looks like he's barely moving on that map, but it still says that he's moving. So yeah, I guess he's moving. So it's fine. Whoops, turned a little bit too short there. Okay, so I know that he can make it the rest of the way from there, so we're good to go. Now, this will be something to kind of judge based on how fast we fill up, if we need 2 drivers for some of those bigger fields or not, because he is going up there to the farm, and he's kind of going slow. But then again, that might have been the speed limit thing that I set for him, self-imposed speed limit, but it is just a little bit safer. I mean, 15 miles an hour, no need to go super. Oh, now he's down to 5 and 0. Uh-oh. He stopped. What is wrong? Why is he dumping canola? Is that minimap not accurate? He doesn't have any canola left? What the? Okay. What the? How? What? Where did it go? That's really weird. How does he... that is an... Yeah, he dumped right there! I had a crossing point there, not an unloading. Why would you do that? What the heck? What in the world? Why would you do that? Oh man. That's right where a crossing point's at. How did you get a crossing point confused with an unload point? Because that doesn't make any sense. There's multiple crossing points back there that he already passed, right? No. Yeah. No. Where's the opening for field 40? I think it's down there a little bit, right? Let's just run look at this, because he definitely passed crossing points before, and I know he tested this out before without dumping on the road. Why would you dump on the road? Did I accidentally press a hotkey that made him dump on the road? Yeah, see, here's the entrance. So there's 2 crossing points right here that he went right past, and he did not unload anything. So why would he unload something right there? That does not make any sense. Oh, goodness. Why would you do that? Oh, man, we're going to lose some of that. We gotta try to scoop up what we can, though. Oh, man. Stupid everything. Why did this happen? All right, let's grab Manny. Let's, course play. It was working so great. Why would you do that? What? That's gotta be, I mean, there's no errors that's shown. So it's probably some type of operator error. I had an unload point set there or something. Maybe I clicked an unload point by accident there. I don't know, but it made that route. It made that exact route before, and it did not show an error with course play. That is just ridiculous. Oh, man. What the heck? Why? Why do I have to run into things? You know, you think you're just going to sit down and have a nice, easy recording episode, and then this happens. It's just... Why would you dump in the middle of the road? It's got to be operator error. He made that exact route earlier, and nothing happened. Oh, man. You stupid dum-dum. You big dum-dum. Frederick. Whoever's operating Frederick. I'm just going to blame the hired help. They're a dum-dum. That was our... Oh, that reminds me of... that reminds me, we're going to go into a boot camp story. But in order to go into that boot camp story, I have to explain the process of stenciling. And in the Navy, when you get into boot camp, at least when I was there, you had to do this process called stenciling, which was really stamping. You had to stamp your name and the last 4 of your social security number onto every piece of clothing with ink. It's like a little ink stamper. And so they had... So, like, the first step was to make the little ink stamper. I'm going to try to pass you and then go ahead of you and then stop on the middle of the road so you can go to there and stop. There we go. So, yeah, we had all these little... We had these things called stencils, but they were really stamps. And on black clothing, you had to stamp white stuff. And then on all other types of clothing, you typically stamped black ink. So, like, on your utilities. Oh, they don't even have utilities anymore in the Navy. Dungarees, they call them. Yeah, so anyway, I will continue explaining that while I'm loading up this stupid trailer. But let's get you off course play and exit that route. And okay, so we're gonna drive on over, drive into this field, and there we go. Actually, we should turn you around while you're empty just to make it a little easier. Man, we're going to lose a lot of that because a lot of that is underneath the road with how tipping works on objects. Hopefully the terrain layer is right underneath the road, because when you tip stuff, it ignores the terrain layer and it goes right to it ignores objects and it goes right to the ground. So all of that you see is on the terrain layer. It's not on the actual road. So like I said, hopefully we'll be able to get, you know, because on some maps, the terrain layer is really far underneath the road object, and then if that was the case, all of this would be disappeared. So hopefully that is not the case, and we get to pick a lot of this up. So this is fun. This is ridiculous. Okay, let me just turn off that CBT because the default MR CBT is just fine. Yeah, so this is ridiculous. I should load from the other side. I'm just gonna use mouse and keyboard. I don't care if it's ugly. It's gonna be fast. Whoa! Don't touch the power line. That will be electrocution and death. That's that'll be bad. We probably have to have all kinds of work clearances and permits and signs and, you know, stuff to do this in real life. But anyway, yeah, so when we were stamping our clothing, there was one instructor. The reason I got onto this is because I called Frederick a dum-dum, and that's the word that this particular instructor used to call dumb recruits. You freaking dum-dum. But anyway, so you dumb, son. You dum-dum. Anyway, he had an awesome Chinese accent. But the story goes where we were stamping these things, and they read off where to stamp it from the, I think it's the Navy Blue Jacket manual they use. So they read like, so on, you know, something like, so on your dress blues, you turn it inside out, and then, you know, you find this seam, and then 4 inches from this seam, you stamp perpendicular to this seam, and then you look at this, and it's supposed to be perpendicular to this, but parallel to this, and 4 inches away from this seam, and 2 inches away from this location, or 2 inches away from this button. So, you know, it's an exercise, and the reason the other reason they do it is because it's an exercise in following instructions. And you know, it's really hard instructions. I think they write it confusing on purpose. So anyway, one guy was hovering his stamp over clearly the wrong spot. It was like he didn't have his uniform inside out. It was right side out. So he's got a stamp on the outside of his dress blue uniform. And the drill instructor, he was like, he was, well, actually, they're not called drill instructors in the Navy, fun fact. They are called, what are they called? Recruit RDC, I think it is. What was that? Recruit director. I forget what the technical name is for it, but they aren't technically called drill instructors in the Navy. That's they're called, so I think it's RDC. I forget what the acronym is stand for. But anyway, he was the RDC came over to the recruit and was trying to help him out and position. He's like, no, 2 inches away from this. No, you're 4 inches away from this. No, you're upside down and you're wrong, and your shirt's inside out. You're gonna stamp on that. You know, he tried to explain it, and the recruit just didn't get it. I don't know if he was having a brain lapse or just scared, but eventually he hovered his stamp over, and the instructor was just like, okay, you know what? Just stamp it. I don't care. Just stamp it just stamp it. And he's like, but you said it's in the wrong spot. You know, he tried pleading his case out of it at that point. But then the instructor started yelling, just stamp it, stamp it, stamp it, you freaking dum-dum, and probably some other not so nice words. But dum-dum was the pet name that he had for all of us. And so the guy gave up and just stamped it. And then as soon as he stamped it, then of course the instructor started yelling, why the heck would you stamp it there, you idiot? You are so dumb. You stamped in the wrong position. It's totally wrong. You screwed everything up. You know, it was just hilarious. And yeah, so whenever I hear the word dum-dum, or sometimes even just dumb, you know, I think I go back to my boot camp days of stamping, and, you know, rather called stenciling, but it is doing the act of stamping. So where is why aren't you appearing? 1 second. Alt M. There we go. We want to look at you. Wait, how are you 97% full of canola? Oh no. I have a sneaky suspicion it didn't work right the first time. Let's go look at our silo. We don't have any canola in our silo. Yeah, so apparently, yeah, it did all this the first time too. It stamped on the wrong spot. It unloaded right here both times. But why would you unload here? Do I accidentally have an unload spot here? Oh, goodness. This is just a nightmare. The other issue is I didn't see this because I didn't drive here overnight. You know, I basically jumped straight to the combine. I didn't have to drive this path. So, oh man, this is just way too much. Trying to get that stuff. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that. That is going to be permanently underneath the road, along with a whole nother. I had my entire first truckload of canola went down there, and I am gone. It's gone. One whole truckload of canola. It's just completely gone. Gone into thin air. Oh, man, what the heck is wrong? Why did you do that? I had to have added an unloading point there accidentally or something. It's got to be something like that. Let's... Wow. All right, so let's load up the course again that we had, and maybe we can figure this out. So we had... I had us exiting. You latch onto this one, and then you latch onto the return path. Let's look right here. Oh, I did! Oh, man, I accidentally put... Oh, wow. I accidentally must have clicked. What? I have to re-record that entire thing now. Because I failed... Oh, man. You dum-dum. That's not a dum-dum on Frederick or the driver. That's the driver following instructions because I told them to unload there. Oh, man. Let's try to get one more bucket. I really want to get one more bucket of this. Oh, man. You think you're going to have a nice, pleasant day, and then it all just goes to pot. It's just all ruined. Everything's ruined. We got who knows how much canola. Well, I mean, it's got to be like 10,000 liters underneath the road. Oh, man. Darn it. That's a lot of money. That's canola. It's not like it's wheat or corn. Something with a ridiculous low price. Oh, man. Oh, why did that happen? I clicked the wrong stupid button. Oh, man. All right, well, nothing to do except for let's... Darn it. Okay, so we got to delete this one. X points and silo and back. Okay, we got to delete that one. And then we just got to re-record a new course. Oh, man, I can't believe that. I cannot believe that I set an unloading point in the middle of the stinking road. Oops. And I just ran into my... Oh, this is just a bad day, guys. This is a horrible day. You know what? Just get back in there. Just get in there. This is not a good day. And yeah, I can't drive on the right side of the road. Otherwise, that'd be a bad day too. You know, you try to do things good. You know, well, okay. Well, I might as well jump back to my steering wheel. What a nightmare. I can't believe that. Darn it. That's like a suck salad right there. I just screwed everything up. Oh, man. Oh. Okay, well, you know, since I am recording this path, I may as well record from all the way down at the pig farm, just in case we ever delve into pigs over here on the West Coast. This will be my main transfer route from the pig farm and back to our silo. So that's what we can use this for. And then in case we ever get any more of these other fields, we'll be able to latch onto this main course from there. As long as I don't stink and unload accidentally. There's just no good place to turn around. Well, I guess I could use that to turn into. Okay, we're going to get things under order here. That's just unbelievable. It's just about unbelievable. But it's me, so it probably should be believable. I don't know why it's unbelievable. Okay, so this is actually a really pretty area down here. I got to do some more work down here. At least if we delve into pigs, that I will be able to get into the pigs. And I mean, I'll be able to get in down here and see the views more often, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Start recording. And let's go. So we need to, let's just go nice and careful, nice and slow. And I can eventually... I can change the speed and edit that manually. So let's go up to something like, you know what, let's just go nice and slow at 20 miles an hour. It might go a little bit slower, but you know what? I didn't add a crossing point back there. Okay, 19 miles an hour. Okay, so we're going to add a crossing point right after that. So that's the crossing point there. And that other crossing point is, of course, from my other course. Let's head back inside the cab now. And I think we'll drive this all from inside the cab. Yeah, so right here is where, if you go slow around that curve, it actually recognizes that wall in front of you as an object that it needs to stop for. So if you're going slow, it doesn't seem to make it past that curve. And that is not a fault of the map, really. It's just a limitation of the course play. So then we need to add a crossing point after every intersection. So I like to do maybe like a tractor's width or length or something like that after the right there. And something like that is what I like to do. And it seemed to work really well. As long as they don't have the stupid unload point, it seemed to work really well for the for when I was setting it up before. So about a tractor's length is right there. And the reason I do that is so that if I ever need to figure out where to latch onto a course, I just kind of gauge, okay, I run it out about a tractor's length. Oh, wait, was that an unload point? That was a crossing point. Okay. Just had to make sure. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. Which one was that? I don't want you unloading again. And you're not going to show it, are you? Because it's already gone. I think it was a crossing point. I'm pretty sure it was a crossing point. It looked like a crossing point, not an unloading point. I hope so. Oh, well. You know, something else to consider is if we make this for multiple tractors, let's try to drive over here on the edge of the road as much as possible. So if we ever have multiple tractors, they actually have a chance at passing each other successfully. Of course, it won't always work out, but we'll try to make it happen when possible. And something else we could actually do is, if I was really creative, I could actually set up the path into the farm from that alternate entrance. It's not that it's not that much further of a distance. Or maybe that could be the exit. Maybe we'll make that the exit. We can work on that later. For right now, let's just work on this. So you're going to have to swing wide and turn on in now. There we go. What a nightmare. I can't believe this. I just messed it all up. Okay, so let's do the whole double thing again for as much as we can. You know, hopefully if we're lucky, they will pass on one of those spots where there'll be enough room, but no guarantees there. And let's just turn in this way now. And here we go. Let's go in straight over. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to set that up anyway. But for these triggers, you just have to drive straight across. You don't have to do anything fancy. And I could, you know what? Let's just make it even easier. Let's just go all the way around the loop. No need to try to turn short and hit things, or I definitely don't want to have to redo this course. So anyway, as I was saying, I was thinking I could possibly, in the future, if we get a lot busier, I can make that the exit to the farm. You know, and that goes over to the main road, of course. And, okay, so let's get over on the left side as much as possible. But that goes out that other entrance to the main road. And with that, we'll be able to totally use multiple tractors at the same time entering and exiting the farm. That could be a little dangerous. Let's slow down there with the brake. And the reason I didn't unload is because I want to make sure that this works. I don't want any more mistakes of dumping grain. You know what? In case I did accidentally dump on the ground, I should have. Oh, goodness. I should have actually dumped most of it and then came back and... Okay, so right here... Oh, I forgot the crossing point there. Shoot. I forgot crossing points. Oh, my goodness. I forgot crossing points in all those other fields. Gosh darn it. You know what? This is just not a good day. You know, it will be... Oh, man. This is just not a good day. This is... Oh, absolutely horrible day. There are rocks there. I don't want to get over too far there, but over here I think I can get over a little bit further. Stupid rocks. Stupid fields. Well, this will at least work for all of the deeper routes. It won't work so well for... Okay, that's a little bit bumpy. Yeah, see, this is why we don't want him going more than like 15 miles an hour. That would just be way too bumpy in there. Okay, so let's get this way, and let's create a crossing point here, just in case we ever need to latch on going this way. Don't want to hit that other one. But this will let us do that. And so we want a crossing point about here. And we want a crossing point, darn it. I was talking too much, and I forgot to do those other crossing points. That is just sickening. I wanted one good path. Well, you know what? Let's make sure this path works. So crossing point there. Let's make sure this works first. And then I'll go back and re-record this stupid thing later. That's just, I can't believe that. That's just unbelievable. I can't believe how dumb I was. I accidentally clicked that instead of, again, too much talking instead of just concentrating on what I'm doing. It's really hard to do two things at once, especially for people like me, in case you had not noticed. Let's continue onward, and we will make a crossing point right there. And go on, and we will end up at the pig farm. Okay, so as long as my other paths are, you know, those crossing points might be slightly different. I might have to go back and re-record my enter and exit into this field, but this is probably the last load that I would need from that field anyway. So I don't think I'm going to go and load the rest of those other courses to latch on. Oh, whoops. We need to stop that. So let's do pause and garbage can, garbage can, garbage can, and one more garbage can. And we'll unpause and stop. Okay. Oops. Well, I put a crossing point back there, so that's not the end of the world. That's not the end of the world. As long as why aren't the crossing points visible? Maybe I accidentally deleted the crossing point. Well, that would not be good if I did, but, you know, I'm gonna have to re-record this whole thing. This is just all messed up. Let's just go. Just go and see if you dump. See if you make it there all the way. We're gonna go over to, where is this? Manual speed, maximum speed. Let's put you up to 16 miles an hour, 17. You don't want to go too much faster than that because we're gonna have you getting off the road over onto that messiness. So let's just go back to our Massey now, and let's... You know, this is why I have like 20 episodes of seeding. Okay, it wasn't that bad. But this is why I have a lot of episodes of seeding where I try to do things to make my life easier and speed things up. I always talk about efficiency and, you know, do things as quick as possible, but then this happens. So... Oh, man. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a wasted day probably because it's going to rain. By the time it, you know, dries off from after the rain, we probably won't be able to get hardly any harvesting done. Well, it'll probably be similar to today, right? It'll be like evening or late afternoon until we can start harvesting again. Sometimes you just never know how it's going to work out with the weather. But Uh, let's hope that that course play lasts. He's already, well, he's not quite past where we were at, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I didn't hit any other unloading problems with that guy, so I should be good. I should be good. And let's go on over and let's just continue on to opening up this field. And this field, we gotta find out which way are we going to, which way are we gonna harvest this field. The other thing that I want to know is, okay, so I think just north to south, or no, east to west. I mean, we'll harvest it east to west. So that would involve us opening up end rows on both sides of the field, and I probably should have. Oh well. The other thing that I have to figure out is this a layer of chopped straw? It looks like it is. So I believe we'll get one fertilization layer back from this. Now, my next question is, if I spread manure on this field before doing anything, like as is now, if I spread manure on all these fields and then plow it, will that get me all 3 fertilization layers? Because I know you get 1 from chopped straw when you cultivate that in, and then you get 2 from manure if you plow it in, since I'm using the manure mod. But, I mean, whether it's 1 or 2 manures, even without the manure mod, I'm asking, will I get the benefit of the manure and the chopped straw if I plow/cultivate that in? If I spread the manure before taking care of the cultivation layer of the chopped straw, I want to know if I'll get multiple layers of fertilization, or if I have to do those separately, like cultivate in the chopped straw and then go back and let's just open this up with a full 2 swaths while I'm kind of lined up. Like I said, or if I have to go back and do them all individually. That's what I'm asking. Let's drive from inside the cab here for a little bit more realistic, relaxing, and we're gonna. So far, we still have all of our canola, and our guy is just about to the farm now. So, oh no, I forgot to. Okay, I forgot to do the stop panicking. Do this, and okay, so we're gonna have to stop him. But the first thing that we need to do. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Jump out of the tractor while it's moving. We need to go send him on back after we turn on. You know. Well, I guess it's a good sign that I still have all. Oh, no, no. Oh, man. Oh. Oh goodness. I took the corner too fast. I knew it. I was doing it with the keyboard and the mouse. And that gives you a hard turn when you do that. And just like real life, guys, if you try to turn too sharp with a fully loaded wagon and the load shifts, this wagon, I don't know. This wagon's got a relatively low center of gravity. It doesn't have very high sidewalls, but I mean, you got to be careful when you turn grain in real life. I typically slow down, like on the road, on flat level highways in Illinois. Well, I mean, you probably know from when you drive on map, especially if you use the MR convert of my Dakota trailers. I mean, you got to slow down to 10 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour when you take those corners. And I did not do that. And I reaped the benefits, you know. Oh, goodness. Oh, man. That was just not good. That was just horrible. What a horrible day. Oh, man. This just stinks. Why did I do that? I was trying to go quick. I was using the keyboard. I was lazy. I just turned too quick. Oh, man. Well, on that note, I think I'm going to go back to harvesting. Oh, man. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, okay, I won't forget that. Let's just bring Manny home. Let's bring Manny. I'm not going to use the mouse and keyboard. We're going to lower this, give ourselves the low center of gravity like we should. Let's tilt it back all the way. Let's suck it in all the way. Keep it close to home. Oh, man. This is just a horrible... This is a horrible episode. I'm so tired. I tell you, after... I just set up and we played the board game that we got for Christmas. It is called Grand Austria Hotel. It's actually really cool. It has you trying to develop the best hotel in Austria, and you have to invite guests into your hotel, and you serve them whatever drinks they want, and then after their drinks are served, then they can go up to their room. So you have to manage, different colors of cube, wine, coffee, strudel, or cake, and each one wants something different. And then you get a certain amount of victory points for shipping them up to their room. But of course you have to, do that. And it has this really interesting mechanism called dice drafting, where you roll die at the very beginning of each turn, but you roll a lot of them. So it's not like Monopoly where it's really high random chance. It's just, it makes it fun. I like board games with a little bit of randomness in them, because it makes you kind of, I should put a picture up of the board game. It's awesome, but it makes you, the randomness in games is not enough where an unlucky person will lose. It's more where the smarter person can adapt to whatever die are rolled and change from there. For example, on one turn you might have a lot of number 4s rolled, which 4s I think allow you to do the take money action. So for example, if there are 4 number 4s rolled at the beginning of the turn, if you go first, you'll be able to get $4. So the actions that you take that are determined by the number of dice that are rolled. Or 3s are preparing hotel rooms. So if you roll 3 number 3s, or say you roll 4 number 3s, then you'll be allowed to prepare 4 hotel rooms. So it all depends on the... We're gonna have to try to lift both of them up at the same time, or one by one. That's what we're gonna have to do. That's what we gotta do. Let's just do one by one. Can't do 2 by 2 like Noah's Ark. That will not work. Gotta do one by one. And yeah, anyway, Grand Austria Hotel is a fun little game. It was actually a little short for my wife and I. We like games that are a little bit longer. So I don't know, if you're single and all you have is dog, or not single, if you're married and you don't have kids and all you had is dogs to worry about, then you might want something that's a little bit longer. But it was really, really fun. Anyway, back to the dice drafting. So because of that, for example, if you like number 1, that is the coffee and strudel option. So if you don't roll any number 1s, then that means you cannot draft any. That means you cannot get any cake or strudel for that round of the game. However, there is a random option where you can pay like $1 to. So 6 is random. It allows you to mirror any of the other actions, and it will allow you to, so if you roll 6 number 6s, then you can take 6 strudel, for example, or 6. You can prepare 6 rooms in your hotel, even though you might have not rolled any of that number individually. So it really helps mitigate the randomness, the random luck factor in the game. There's not very many times. I mean, by design, I've never had a round or a turn where it's like, oh, well, I can't do anything useful. I've had a lot of turns where I can't do what I wanted to do, but then you just have to adapt and change your strategy. And that's why I like games like that kind of force you to adapt and change your strategy on the fly. It makes you think a little bit quicker. And the reason I like games like that is because I actually don't necessarily like games where you can plan 5 turns in advance the most efficient route. Board games like that are a little bit boring. So I instead like board games that kind of force you to change and adapt, because it allows me to be a little bit lazy in my thinking, because you can kind of have a general long-term plan, but you can't have a definite long-term plan like you can in chess or something. Well, I mean, even chess changes based on what your opponents do. So You might have to adapt in that game as well. So anyway, yeah, that's just why that's the board game, the Grand Austria Hotel, and that's why I enjoyed that board game. But reading the instruction manual, the whole point of saying that is it tires you out. Reading, learning something new and reading something like that, it really has the let's just make sure everything looks like he's closing and going down, and we're sucking that up, and we have canola now inside of our, okay. That is good. Now we need to stop you one more time. I don't want you to go back when you are, well, can I do, okay, wait, no. Stop! Stop! I thought you were going to stop automatically. Let's stop you real quick. I guess they don't recognize people like hired workers. Let's try dumping this into the pit and see what happens. I don't know if this has a shovel catcher or not, but let's see. Let's go on up and dump you in. Yeah. Now, if you don't have a shovel catcher, we're gonna lose all of this, so this would probably not be wise. Let's just do a little bit at a time and see if our level goes up. You do not go up. All right, so we are not gonna do that then. We're gonna run back and dump that in the trailer. We've already lost enough to the ground. We don't want to lose any more. And then I'm going to send you around again, because no sense sending you back to the field with, that's like 10% full on this trailer. All right, and there we go. And actually, let's turn you on again and back you out of the way. Well, we can turn you off too. Okay. Now we're going to hop back in and drive course, not yet. We're going to back you up a little bit more with the mouse and keyboard again, because I didn't learn my lesson. And then we're going to go to next closest waypoint and see what happens. Well, I mean, we already know what happened. It's going to dump the grain. Oh, man, I just can't believe that I did that. I feel so stupid. Anyway, I was trying to explain why I'm so tired and why maybe some of those mistakes might happen, because I just learned a complex board game. It's actually not that complex if you know board games. It might look complex, but it's really not that complex. If you are curious about board games and want to know more, I have a lot of really cool ideas for you for board games that might get you started into the hobby. If you are unfamiliar with the hobby of designer board games, don't think games like Monopoly. They're actually fun. Despite the appearance of dice, they do not really rely on luck. It's a strategy. It's a strategy board game. Anyway, I've got a whole closet full of them, and I still cannot seem to quite stop collecting them. But for now, I think let's hop up here and watch Frederick go off into the distance as I say goodbye. So, I think this will be a quick goodbye. I'm a little bit tired. I still am frustrated at myself for making those mistakes. Even if they are funny, and even if I do laugh at myself, it is just, oh man. And to know I have to re-record that entire courseplay course because I forgot crossing points right there. Yeah. So, look at that. That's just another beautiful view overlooking the West Coast. But next episode, I'll get more done. We'll get more done. And I don't know. I might even do next episode live. I don't know. It'll probably be a recording, though. It's just a better experience for those who can't always chime in and watch the stream live. So, I thank you all, and thanks for stopping by this episode. Even though we got almost nothing done. I did like 3 or 4 swaths with the combine, and that's it. That's all I got done. Oh, we also dumped some more grain on the ground and wasted money. So, yeah, we did that, too. And we re-recorded a courseplay course that we already did once because I screwed up. And we had to tip ourselves back over. Yeah, so I guess we did lots of stuff, but it was more like undoing mistakes instead of actually positive progress. The whole, like, 2 steps forward, 3 steps backward type thing is what happened this episode. But anyway, I thank you all for stopping by. Be sure to give me a thumb and subscribe if you have not, and leave comments below for anything you'd like to see in the future of this series. Like I said, we will be transitioning to the Oakfield farm whenever that comes out, but we'll also be still staying on the West Coast. That was the result of a poll I took a long time ago. A lot of you guys want to keep seeing this map. We're gonna do some type of a hybrid episode where we're gonna have. I think, based on the huge fields on the West Coast, I think what we'll do is we're gonna have all animals on this farm, and then all arable equipment over on the other farm. And then, of course, we're gonna make our own bales here. And I think we will be using the straw mod, the straw DLC over on Oakfield Farm. And we're going to do something where I don't know exactly how it's going to work transitioning between farm to farm. I'm going to have to try to fill up a trailer and then copy and paste it so that we can somehow import a. That's all on my back end. I'll figure out how that works. But you know, like I'm just trying to figure out. The only thing we have to transport that will be hard is the can't think. Oh, you know what? We can. With the global market mod, they have the importing and exporting of straw pellets, just like grain. And from how I've seen straw pellets work, I think that we can store them like grain, so we don't need to store bales of straw anymore. I think we can just store straw pellets, and then similar to if you missed previous episodes, what I'm going to do with like corn, for example, for the pigs and sugar beets for the pigs, I'm going to sell it on Oakfield Farm to this global market, and then I'm going to come here and I am going to buy it on the West Coast from the global market. And the reason I put the global market here on my home farm instead of pretending, oops, I lowered that a little bit too much, got a floating pole there. But the reason why I put the global market here instead of simulating a sell point far away, I am simulating shipping stuff to and from my own farm with the global market. I'm not taking it, say, to, I don't know, like the railroad yard or somewhere else like Frontier Store and shipping it to them so they can ship it, elsewhere in the world. I'm doing this. This is kind of like, hey, I unload here and then on another map, I unload here. Or I load here, which simulates, the price difference will basically be shipping costs for my contract company. But that's why I put it on the farm, because if I was hiring contract workers to do this job, which is what I'm role playing, they would deliver it right here to my own silos or to my own farm, somewhere on my own farm. So that's why I'm doing it that way. Just in case you're wondering, if you are new and I haven't explained that yet. Okay. Well, I think that is, oh man, the views in this map are just amazing. It's just every time it's like every time you turn a corner and you see the view, it's like you've seen it for the first time. And I don't know, this map just never ceases to amaze me. I think it's awesome. But for now, I think that we will say goodbye to everybody for the 20th time. And thanks for stopping by. I will stop talking now because I already said my goodbye spiel. No more goodbye spiel. Goodbye, guys. See you later.